All right. Hey, what's happening over there in the chat? Yeah, I thought there was another podcast I was going to hop on. It hadn't started yet, so I went ahead and I was going to start at noon Eastern time. I pushed mine to 1, but it may not work out over there because different there's different spots for people and everything. Hopefully, I can jump on over there. But what's happening, everybody? I did invite Sick Humor, so hopefully he can pop on here. I know he just got done on another podcast, so but I'm just kind of trying to get the room up to about 8 to 10 people. That's kind of, and this is I kind of went back for all you all who don't know the newer subs. This is the time I normally would no, let's see here. Let me I closed out my Twitter feed. Let me because one of the things that was happening yesterday was I still had an open window, and I was botting on the podcast. I did real bad. I didn't have that good clean sound. So let me invite Porter Rock. So just I hadn't asked him because he's 5 or 6 hours away. So it's dinner time where he's at now. Porter Rock got relocated. He's in the Army. So shout out to everybody that's in the Army. And I'm sorry, he's in the Marines. My God, he'll smack me 2 times, So for saying that. So let me find him. Actually, I'm just going to drop the link here. And then I'll go ahead and get started. So, because I have a general announcement to make, and then I'll kind of go ahead and get started with the podcast. So, but all right, yeah, there's 10 of you all here. All right. So, real quick, I was on a podcast. I need to give a big shout out to Jay Fonz. I was on a podcast with him yesterday with Ryan the Professional. Go check out Ryan the Professional's podcast. I was there. Carlos was on there. J Dub was on there.
Yo.
Oh, what's happening, J Dub? Yeah, I dropped a link in the chat thing there. I didn't know if anybody was gonna be available to hop on.
Yeah, so, just for a few minutes. Today's my son's birthday, so I figured I'd jump in here for a few minutes and get blessed by the Messiah for a few.
Yeah, I was gonna make a general announcement. But you were on you were on with Ryan last night, and something that and let me give a big shout out to everybody that was there. So what I was saying was big shout out to Jay Bonds because something that he said going back and forth with these guys, you have to really ask yourself, do you really hate these guys? I'm paraphrasing. And after the podcast, I actually really thought about that. And so this is just a general announcement for my subs, the people I podcast with. I'm going to be falling back a little bit on Twitter, meaning that you won't see me saying things like hashtag moist, hashtag buttery. I'm not going to be doing that anymore because I can't ask people not to be going back and forth with people and then not set the example myself. So from now on, I'm not going to be doing it. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Well, you got to realize this is entertainment. This is for bragging rights.
Yeah.
And, I think this. Yes, we need them around. And, we would want them to be competitive and to hit us back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To keep this going, it's great entertainment. This stuff isn't personal. Nobody hates anybody. We're all
Yeah.
gamers. We're
Yeah.
doing this for bragging rights. And what happens when you make a touchdown? You spike the ball, you dance, you shake,
You're
you
right.
do all kind of. That's just what this is. Just because an NFL team beats another NFL team does not mean that they hate those guys. Now I get it. Some guys are mad and they want you to stop teasing us so much. You tease us too much, and we're
Yeah.
sensitive about it. So I get that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, we do need competition because it can get boring when it's one sided. When you just drill on the guys day after day after day, and they're not defending themselves, and they don't have any ground to stand on. It does make it kind of bland. And you'll say every now and then you'll see me, being very positive and telling my hopes and dreams of what Xbox could be come E3, Gamescom, Comic Con, and everything else. So, but it is what it is. I think
Yeah. Well, like your
the
tweet.
whole console war thing. I think it's so more and it's made.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh
I
no.
was just saying. I think it's. I think it's so we've sold more consoles and made the awareness for all of these consoles
Yeah.
way more than they would have been.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't disagree with that. Yeah, just for me, when I saw the and I was doing a stream, Mass Effect Andromeda the other day, and this was before they announced Spider-Man. The date they announced Spider-Man. And I was like, and I said tongue in cheek, well, hey, look, guys, it's going to get worse because there's going to be a lot of complaints. I said it tongue in cheek. I didn't realize what was going to be unleashed on social media. Now, I know it's not everybody, but to see some of the stuff that I was seeing, like, how dare you not put this on the most powerful console? And, this is Sony being anti-consumer. They're greedy. It's just like, you know what? It's not that, like you're saying, it's not that big a deal. And it's not everybody, in the Xbox community. There's a, there's a low, there's a small amount, low vocal amounts, what I call it, of people that are just going ham. And it's been going for a while, but you can kind of see it. I mean, people have been exposed. I mean, people can kind of see that now. And yeah, I agree with what you're saying. But I just didn't want to add to the vitriol. You know what I'm saying? I understand some tongue-in-cheek stuff, but
again,
I just didn't want to sound vitriol. Yeah, go ahead.
Like you said, I tweet stuff to get people triggered and to cause conversation, not to be personal with anybody, not to damage or do anything bad. It's more about the conversation to be had, and I don't know. I mean, again, I use this for fun, and I just don't see, just because someone is upset or getting picked on, I don't think I should have to stop my fun or other people who enjoy my tongue in cheek tweets and stuff like that. I just don't. If anything, that should be more motivation to work harder, right? Or ask Microsoft for better products, or
You're
ask
right.
for more ammunition.
I don't disagree. And your tweets are hilarious when you come up with those those pictures and stuff. I'll be rolling off of those. I just didn't want to. I kind of was like, man, if I've been adding to the overall vitriol, maybe making it a little bit too personal. So I'm like, well, it's not that I'm leaving Twitter. I'm not doing that. I'm just kind of like, what, is it? I mean, you can kind of see what's going on as far as, like I was saying, people making fun of games when they didn't have them, and then as soon as they got access to them, it's hugs and kisses. So that's been exposed. Several other things have been exposed, but I just did not want to be the type of person adding to the vitriol. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me say this one thing. All of this could have been minimized a long time ago.
Right.
When you're losing in a football game, you learn to be humble. You learn to be humble. You learn to kind of sit back, be low key. But some of these guys don't know how to do that. Some of these guys, they're losing pretty badly,
Yeah.
and they get one touchdown, and they claim that they're the leaders in the in the game, and then therefore the competition has to go ahead and put their feet on the back of their necks again.
Yeah. That you're botting pretty bad.
This is time and time again. Can you hear me now, Craig?
Yeah. I can hear you now. You started botting there.
I'm sorry. I'm on my phone. That's another reason I didn't want to stay too long because I hate
That's
messing up
cool.
the podcast with my Biden.
Yeah, no, I understand. Let me ask you this, because I respect your opinion. I consider us, acquaintances, friends and things like that. My tweets that you've seen, and be honest, and we're
Yeah.
live, so I can take it. Do you think I've been a little bit too vitriolic? Because you've seen my tweets.
Yeah. I've seen your tweet. And here's the thing, Craig, your tweets, you're specifically targeting out certain people. You're not
Right.
painting with a broad brush. You talk
Right.
about the very small group. You even say those 5%ers.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're talking about the whole community. You specify the butthurt, uh, front row
Yeah.
group that's there.
Yeah.
So I can't see anybody outside. I can't see 95% of the people being mad. You only specified the very minority. So I mean, you can't be mad at that. You did your part to specify, and you always say, I'm not talking about the masses. I'm just talking about the front row riders.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's being specific. I mean, I don't think 95% of the people be mad if you're talking about 5%.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't want to add to the overall vitriol because I was able to see some of the tweets that Insomniac had been getting. I'm like, all right, it's starting to get a little bit creepy out there, So so I tweeted somebody this morning about Spider-Man, and I'll go into it more. Well, I mean, I know you're gonna probably hop off here, aren't you? So, but I was just going to say that it's for anybody to understand this. Insomniac doesn't control Spider-Man. They were just the studio that Sony went to develop the game. That's it. Sony controls.
That's correct.
Yeah, the distribution rights. They control everything, and that means they control the Miles Morales. They control Spider-Gwen. If they're going to put her in it, that's Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man from, I think she was in I can't remember if she's in Earth 6-5 or maybe, I can't remember 616 or 6-5. I think 6-5. Well, no, I think it's 616. So, but they control all that. Kingpin, the Goblin, whatever you want to call it, Sandman, Rhino, Electro. Sony controls that. So the people that are tweeting Insomniac Games blaming them for the game being exclusive, they're wrong. All right, so if Insomniac Games blocks your account or does worse, reports you to Twitter, because that's what I got DM'd this morning. Somebody said Insomniac Games is actually going to start reporting people because it's getting to a point where people are that upset. So yeah, shout out to Cycle Gamer. Yeah, I went back to a noon time because I wanted to make that general announcement, then do these short stories, and I was gonna go and play some Mass Effect. But you still there, J-Dub? Oh, he dropped off. All right. But yeah, shout out to J-Dub City, man, for hopping on there. I appreciate him coming on. Definitely happy birthday to the little big man there, and appreciate everything you do, J-Dub. Because people have called him toxic. And I don't know how somebody who has given away, Xboxes and at least I count $2,500 minimum worth of stuff, giving it away. And he hooked me up. He hooked several other people up, with PSVRs and Pros, Switches. So we need more people like that in the community. That's why I really like having him on the podcast. He gives you an honest answer. So let me move into the news real quick. As you can see the line there, I'll start with Hellblade on the Xbox X. Hellblade on the Xbox X, according to WCC Tech. This is a site that I go to a whole lot. Let me see if I can pull this on up here. I'm actually going to leave the chat screen. And then I'll re-go over some of the stuff I was saying yesterday in the two podcasts I was on, because I was botting really bad yesterday because of my bandwidth was not doing what it was supposed to do. Hopefully I sound better this morning. So I don't know if it was a usage thing. I did talk to my cable company about it. And let's see, I did talk to my cable company about it, and they said, well, that time of usage, everything was up at high use. So I'm just trying to pull this article up. And all right, here we go. I found it. I'm going to screenshot it. But let's see here. There we go. And shout out to the 20 plus people that are here. Appreciate you all being here. All right. So, and shout out to Max Gaming because he broke this earlier today. But as you can see here, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, Xbox One X, the enriched visual mode, they say it's like playing on PC at max settings. So there's going to be 3 modes on Xbox. And let me keep pulling the article. So this is good. This is good news. I'm trying to keep it more right down the middle for a little bit. There's no reason to, there's no reason to like Kratos said, you score a touchdown, you spike the ball, but if you're beating somebody 58-16, it's you got people getting upset out there. So but you can see here, there's a couple of new screenshots showcasing the 3 visual options have been shared by, this is Game Spew, I think it's pronounced. So they have enriched visual modes, high res mode, and high frame rate mode. So it says enriched visual mode seems to be the way to go. Now this is just the person that reviewed the game on the X's opinion. If you want to go high res mode, fine. If you want to go high frame rate mode, fine. That's another thing that everybody in the Xbox community has really got to try to understand, is that it's just one person's opinion. I heard a podcast last night. All right, I listened to a podcast. Yeah, I listened to a podcast last night where somebody was saying that when Rise Son of Rome came out, that whoever reviewed the game, I didn't like the QTEs in that game. So and that they feel like that drives people away, and I'm just kind of like, no, that's one man or one woman's opinion. But you can see here, here's high res mode. Again, you're not going to see it too well on my computer because my computer's in 486. So you have a high res frame rate mode on my playthrough, and then here's enriched mode. So again, to me, I can't enriched mode. I don't know if you can see this plant here. If we go up a little bit here, a little bit more, that plant's not there. So enriched visual mode seems like it's giving you more foliage and stuff like that. Now, if you haven't played Hellblade, I'm not going to give it away, but ultimately with Hellblade, it's mostly dark. Okay, it's mostly a dark game. There's very few bright sections. So again, I'm not knocking it. It's going to get an HDR build for the. It's going to get an HDR build on the Xbox and on the Pro. Whenever I guess Tuesday, the game comes out. The game comes out on the 11th. So hopefully people decide to go buy the game. They don't get caught up in what the game looks like. That's something else I've noticed is the Xbox community, again, I'm talking about the 5%ers, they seem more about what the games are looking like than what the game actually, the entertainment that the game can actually provide. But I'll go more into that a little bit later. So I'll just come back over to the chat to see if anybody who has an Xbox One X, do they plan on buying Hellblade? Okay, that's my question. Anybody already, if you have an S, does anybody have an Xbox? Did anybody not play Hellblade on the PlayStation? And if you didn't, are you planning to buy it on the Xbox X? So I see Joe Robinson. Yeah, Spider-Man's not coming to Xbox, but we'll get into that a little more. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. What's going on, CS Great? What's happening? Yeah, I mean, I did drop a link. That's the J-Dub jumped in. That's in the in that link thing. What's going on, Trey BK? So yeah, you already beat Hellblade. You're not buying it. Okay, that's all I'm asking. People on Matt's gaming channel hate you because you don't the things you don't. Well, I understand that. Yeah. Look. Part of what I noticed is I know with me is that you try to have a conversation with them, whether it's in the comment section or if it's in the wherever on Twitter, wherever. Okay, pick your social media site. Ultimately, you get bogged down into a tit for tat with them. I mean, that's what I've noticed about myself, and I've seen other people. Shout out to Savage Uger. He was getting into it over with some people at Matt's gaming channel as well. And again, that's not Matt's gaming's fault. You know, Matt's gaming actually had to do a video last week and about True 4K, and the people in this comment section got mad at him. So, and he had to set the record straight. So shout out to him. But ultimately, it's like the more you try to engage with them to try to have a conversation, they start pushing back against you. And and I've just, that's what I've noticed online. Then you add to the fact that when I got that direct message this morning that, hey, Insomniac maybe starting to report people because they're getting inundated with a bunch of people that are ticked off. Now, some are trolls. Let's make that clear. And Insomniac is swatting down a lot of the trolls. But ultimately, I don't want to be in that type of thing. That's why I put on my tweet this morning, hey, Insomniac isn't preventing Xbox from getting this game. Sony owns the intellectual property. All Insomniac Games did was they made the game. That's it. Sony paid them to make the game. It's got nothing to do with Insomniac Games. All right. So, I don't know what else to say. Okay. So I think Insomniac also made Sunset Overdrive. So again, Microsoft, I believe, financed some of that game. So Microsoft does not. That's why it's not on the PlayStation. All right. It's not Insomniac's job to put it on the. Now they said if they did a part 2, it would probably be multi-plat. They just need a publisher. So what publisher, honestly, is going to put their money behind a game that's going to probably be multi-plat? You see what I'm saying? So not unless it's a timed exclusive, they'll do that. So yeah, let me keep moving on. That's Hellblade on Xbox X. Yes, I've already beaten it. I played it in high frame mode. I played the half of it in high frame, the other half in I think it was in 1440p. So and at 30 frames per second, I think. So, but it sounds like the Xbox got that extra mode on there. It's got an enriched graphics mode, which they'll break down. I'm going to guess it's going to be 1800p. And I'm sure the game will look stunning on there, but you know, to me, it's not about that. But that's me, and everybody's different. So what are you saying? RE7 got a patch, and you can't see a difference unless you zoom in. Pro version is locked at 860 the whole way. Xbox X is 21, 53 variable with some drops to 50. All right, well, again, now does the Pro resolution stay at 1800p? And how does that affect VR? Because isn't VR, didn't Resident Evil 7 have VR? So yeah, hit that like button for me, please. Yeah, do that. That's nice. So I'm not again. Shout out. I think everybody will jump back in to see if these once more content drops. I mean, nothing. I'm not bashing the game. There's just not a whole lot there. There's enough there to build, though. It's just a matter of can they keep the hook going? You know, can they keep you going? So, it was insane in VR. Yeah, I never played it. So shout out to everybody that played it. So but we'll move on. So Doom, I got it. This is a correction. This is another reason why I wanted to do this video real early. Yesterday, I said that Doom was 4K. I think I said it was 4K native on the Xbox. I was wrong. I made a mistake. And shout out to the people in the chat who corrected it. So this is an official correction for the record. Yeah, it's Doom on the Xbox X is barely hitting 4K at all, and it's on Doom on the PS4 is 1440p or QHD Quad HD. It's 1440p. I assume I don't know if it's 1440p 60 or if it's 30, but it's only 1440p. So only it's 1440p, and that's where it is, and it seems to have a steadier rate. But you know, again, I'm not knocking it if you're playing it on the Xbox, okay? And again, what I'll say to everybody, and despite people not liking this, is that the best versions of these games, it's on PC. Now, I understand you may have a preference not to play on PC, but that doesn't change the fact that the PC is the best place to play. Now, what I just said to you, that's what I'm going to start saying on Twitter. Okay, I'm going to start saying stuff like that. I'm just going to start saying absolutes. Hey, look, you may not want to play on PC. That's cool. You may have your console of choice. That's fantastic. But it still doesn't change the fact that playing on PC, if you're into graphics and power and your settings and what your game is going to look like and perform like, playing on PC is a place for you to be. So that's kind of where I'm going to start going until at least this pass is over, because I did not realize how many people were this upset. You know, yeah, Nate, you have said that. You know, I'm not saying that you haven't. So, and that's going to be my official position. I started gaming on PC back in the 90s or back in the late 80s with games like Police Quest and Heroes Quest and King's Quest. I mean, those were all made by Sierra Games. Those were kind of my introduction into PC gaming on floppy disks. So, and that's where I started gaming. Then again, like I said, my brother got a Nintendo system, the original Nintendo, and that was in his bedroom. And I was always trying to go in there to play games like Tecmo Bowl and, you know, Urban Strike and Jungle Strike, you know, Desert Strike, those strike games. You know, and that was back, I was working part-time, bagging groceries. And I still remember driving out to the mall and buying Jungle. It was Desert Strike. But that was on I'm sorry, that was Sega Genesis. I'm sorry, yeah. So I misspoke there. We were playing Mario and we would play Contra. That's what I was trying to remember. Contra. That's a Desert Strike. My gosh, getting old. Contra. And so we would play that on that Nintendo. We would play to our fingers bled, and that led me into Tecmo Bowl and stuff like that. So, yeah, they're pushing 4K. Well, understand, pushing 4K is something visual that you can see. Pushing that the game is 60 frames or it's locked at this, that's not something that you're going to be able to sell to people. They're not going to be able to, because the first thing we're going to look at is the first thing we see is what it looks like. So nobody's been catfished. As far as the time, if you're talking about the time, yeah, I thought I was going to be on another podcast at noon, and I never got, didn't get in. I didn't get the invite. I don't know if they started. Let me actually go and check because see if it's come through. But because I closed that window because I was botting yesterday, but I was botting because I had an extra window open, and the stress that was put on the internet here locally on Friday, the times I was on, was massive. It was massive. So a lot of people called them up and complained. So, but ultimately, yeah. So let's move to PS5 in 2020. Now, I did see this. I did see this a few. An analyst, and I've got the link in the description there. It comes from, I believe it comes from comicbook.com. I believe it came from there. But ultimately, an analyst is now predicting that, an analyst is now predicting that PS5 won't hit till 2020, which I think that's where most people had put it anyway. I personally think there's going to be a general announcement at the end of next year. Okay, I think there's a general announcement. Well, I think next year. I think there's an announcement of something in the works at next year's E3. And that's what I think is going to happen. That's just my opinion. No inside information there. Hey, can you? My door. Oh, you're silly, teabagging. I actually need to play on my 1X today. Yeah, I need to play Mass Effect 3 on there. So, but yeah, because I've been playing that. I still got like 20 hours plus to play, or over that, if not more. But damn, what was I saying again? All right, so PS5 2020, and I personally think we get. This is just my opinion again. I think we get an announcement at E3 next year, not this year. Do not fall into this BS trap of, oh, we're going to hear something this year. Then when nothing happens, you're going to get slammed for that. Just PS5 will be here when it gets here. It will be here when it gets here. And if I'm still around, if I'm still alive, to pick it up, I'll more than likely pick it up. But then again, I may not, because my PC will definitely be done by then, and I may be done gaming. And I don't believe it's going to be 20 teraflops. I'm thinking 10.5. And with that rapid pack math, you can break everything. It breaks everything in half anyway. So then it goes to 20. So that's what I'm thinking people are saying. But that's my opinion, okay? But big shout out to Savage Uger, because he did say that he said, I'm paraphrasing, that they're just going to build the dev kit. They're just going to start building games off that dev kit. And then they may say, here's what we can do with whatever, 20. Here's what we're going to do with 16. Here's what we're going to do with 12. Here's what we're going to do with 10. Here's 8. You see what I'm saying? They'll be different. They'll code to different levels on the same kit and then give Sony their information. They'll back channel Sony with what they think. And if enough of them agree on, I don't know, I'm just saying 10 T-flops. Don't hold me to that, please. If they say, okay, 10 T-flops, all right, fine. Because if you hit 10 T-flops and then you do have this so-called Ryzen chip CPU, you can do 4K 60. Okay? You can do 1440p, high textures, open frame. You can do 1080p with high textures. I mean, again, the companies I expect to take advantage of it will be the first party studios more than anybody. So time to buy PS VR. There you go. Yeah, and again, I appreciate give yourselves a big shout out. I appreciate everybody. Again, everybody that's donated to the PC, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. And that's 901. I appreciate what you did. Big shout out to you, brother. Big shout out to everybody that's donated anything to help me get that going. Again, I bit off more than I could chew. I thought I could be the man, play 4K 60. I underestimated the cost of that. I didn't think it would be that much. Then I've had some stuff pop up personally for me. It's kind of, pushed me back, but I'm still doing it. I just want everybody to know, don't give up on me yet. Please don't give up on me. But there is some stuff that's come up that's kind of setting back. But it's life. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. But I appreciate everybody for what they did. So Trey BK, I appreciate your donation. 901, everybody that is in here that has donated something, given something, I appreciate it. So yeah, I review all 4-1 review. I agree. 10 to 12 T flops. That's it. So you spend $1,800 and you still don't get 10 and still don't got a 1080 Ti. Okay, well again, but what I learned about PC gaming is you have to know what you want to be at, and I want to be at 1440p 60 for my games, and maybe eventually, God willing, I step up to 4K. But most people on PC aren't playing at 4K. They're at 1440p. I was watching again the Star Citizen thing the other day, their update, and that guy was playing at 900p. I mean, but he was playing at, he was playing at 900p, 60 frames per second. So, but that's him. So, and yeah, that's fine. What's going on, Simon? Simon says, hit that chat. It says there's 40 people in here. There's only 21 likes. Come on, hit that chat button. So yeah. 1440p 60. Yeah, well, shout out to 901. I've got the Asus dual series or RX 580, and that should be able to do it too. So, but that's what I'm going for. So, but I got to get a monitor for that. And a lot of people say, well, just hook it up to your TV. Okay, I may do that, but the latency may be worse. So I'm just trying to figure out. What's up, Fall of Duty? How you doing, brother? So a 1080 Ti GPU gaming at 20. Wow. Yeah. And you won't have to upgrade, that's for sure. But okay. All right. So let me move into the juicy nugget here. I'm going to talk about this. This is just something I put together over the last 48 hours. It's my hypothesis. I ran it last night on Ryan the Professional show. And again, I was botting out real bad. So I just want to repeat what I said. And a shout out to Sick Humor because he said this as well, not to take nothing away from Sick Humor. He mentioned it on a podcast he did a few days ago. So, and I'm agreeing with him. So this has actually been pretty clever by the people in the Xbox community filing these complaints. Their complaint has been that Sony is being anti-consumer. They say, well, because they don't have crossplay, they're anti-consumer. Because they won't do this, they're anti-consumer. Okay. I'll deal with anti-consumerism first. Anti-consumerism means it literally would be Sony's not putting out anything. Okay, they're just a company. They're getting tax breaks, and they're not putting anything out for people to consume. That's anti-consumer. It's again, they're taking our tax money and they're not producing anything. Sony is producing things for people who want them. I mean, if you want a new headphone set and you don't want the Dolbys, you don't want the Beats by Dre, you don't want the Bose, Bose headset, you'll get these. You may get a Sony headset. That's pro-consumer because you're giving the consumer another choice. So, but what they done, and it was very clever, and I'm just coming on to this. This is a hypothesis, so bear with me here. Is there's three things at play here. One, and I'll tie this into Spider-Man too. These are in no particular order. One, I believe that that they're not screaming. The people saying that Sony's anti-consumer, they're anti-Sony. Okay, they do not want. They want the same things. I mean, I think we've proven that. Okay, you can go back and listen to podcasts and say that that AAA, that Sony had more games at the beginning of the gen, but they did not count because they weren't AAA games. This is stuff coming out of the Xbox camp. Okay, the whole, like J-Dub was talking about, the whole console war thing. So you had people saying that. So games like a game like a Hellblade, which is a indie, they would have thrown under the bus. The game they threw under the bus, though, was one of the first games was Rocket League. Rocket League, it was only on the PlayStation. They didn't have access to it, so they filed a complaint. It's a stupid game. It's a kiddie game. You're pushing a ball around. As soon as they got access to it, their tune changed. And, so it's like, all right, if it only happens one time, all right, fine. But that's the first thing we got going on. They're anti-Sony. They don't want the games. They don't want the games to only be on the Sony platform, because Sony has what they want. Okay. And I've said this before. If you don't believe they don't want to play MLB The Show, you're crazy. When I took some screenshots and posted them on Twitter of MLB The Show, there was, somebody, an Xbox guy or gal, okay? And it's not the Xbox community, and I got to work on that myself. It is 5%. So one of these 5%ers came on to my Twitter page and said, the game looks like crap. It doesn't perform well. Forza 7 is a better looking game. In which I replied, I said, wow. Why are you comparing a driving racing game to a sports title? Why don't you compare Forza 7 to GT Sport? Or you can compare MLB The Show to the exclusive game that the Microsoft has to play baseball. And no reply. So again, that's what I mean by being anti-Sony. Number two, when it comes to Spider-Man, let me tie this into Spider-Man. I just said this earlier. Spider-Man is not owned by Insomniac Games. They don't own the IP. Sony owns the IP. I've got it right here. All right, Marvel had filed bankruptcy in 95, 96. Took them 2 years to get out of bankruptcy. When they got out of bankruptcy, they were approached by a guy from Sony Studios who said, hey, at which Ike Perlmutter, who, that name is, if you follow the trade, you know who Ike Perlmutter is. He's the one he's the showrunner for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that. So Ike Perlmutter, and he also does Daredevil, Luke Cage, all that stuff is through the television. So Ike said, well, I got a better deal for you. I'll offer you every IP we got. I mean, everything. Marvel was offering Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man, Captain America, offered all of it up for $25 million. Okay, this gentleman went back to the Sony brass, and Sony allegedly said the only IP we give a damn about is Spider-Man. So they came back and he said, look, we'll buy Spider-Man. I'll have a cashier's check for you for $7 million. And so Marvel at that point sells Spider-Man to Sony. So anybody who does, now you all know that story, okay? And again, people don't know what they don't know, okay? And they don't know what they don't know. So now you guys know, all right? So again, Marvel sold the rights to Spider-Man to Sony in 1998 for $7 million. Okay, now how do I know this? Well, because I remember all of this really happening because I was reading comic books and I thought comic books were going to stop. And they were like, no, they're going to actually make a Spider-Man movie. And I'm like, oh, that'd actually be pretty cool. And so we got the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Peter Parker, all that kind of stuff. So that's when all that happened. And we'll go back a few more years. In 1993, before Marvel filed bankruptcy, they sold all the X-Men property. And so that it means Galactus, Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four, Deadpool, all your X-Men. They sold that for $2.6 million. I kid you not. But Marvel still gets residuals from the movie. So they get 2%. All right. Give you an example. Deadpool made like $700 million at the box office. Marvel got a check. Marvel Studios got a check for about 21 million, give or take. And that's why when you go see Deadpool in a couple weeks, or if you watch a Fox movie with Marvel superheroes, Marvel's name always comes up. Okay, not the they don't do the montage, but Marvel's name comes up. Again, the people within the Xbox community, the 5%ers, they don't know that. They don't know that. So they are literally online attacking Insomniac Games because they don't have access to the game. So, I mean, like I said, if one got the one tweet, you're going to rule the day, you didn't put this game on the most powerful console. You know, it doesn't matter to them. And I'm going to show you a game that's multi-plat, and therefore it doesn't say only on Sony or Sony exclusive. So let me go back here. I'm going to turn on my camera. And hopefully the camera's on. Hopefully you all can see this. So this is Mass Effect Andromeda. It's a multi-plat. Okay? So it's not going to say only on PlayStation. Okay? It's not going to say that. Now, this is one of the only PlayStation games I have that's physical. Everything else is digital. But let's pull up. I'm going to pull up a screenshot of a game that's a Sony exclusive, and we'll look and see what it says on it. So let me leave the chat here. And we'll go, and I should have done this earlier. I know what you're saying. Oh, you should have done this earlier. So, and again, yeah, you're right. But I'm just going to let's look at Horizon Zero Dawn case image. Now I'm going to pull this up. And we'll look at what Sony puts on their games that they actually are exclusive, okay? This is for everybody. Now, this is from Google. This is Horizon Zero Dawn. As you can see, same PS4 logo. There's the name of the game. Only on PlayStation. This means this is how Sony identifies its IP. First party IP, okay? Only on PlayStation. You will not see this game go to PC and or any other console unless Sony decides in a few more years to put the game on PS Now. All right, and that's just me being honest. I'm not here bashing. This is just me. This is education time. So only on PlayStation. All right. And then what was the difference? The Mass Effect game I physically showed you did not have that on there. And the reason why it didn't have it on there is because it's not an exclusive Sony game. Now Hellblade, that never had a physical copy. No Man's Sky did. So, but let me see if I can pull up No Man's Sky here. I'll keep the screen sharing on. Because I'm not for sure, because it's been a couple years since I've seen the No Man's Sky cartridge. So No Man's Sky PS4 box images. Okay, I'm going to pull up the PS4 for No Man's Sky. Okay. nowhere on this title does it say only on PlayStation. Okay? Nowhere else does it say only on PlayStation. That's because this game was a multi-plat game when it launched. It was also launched on PC. So you have people within the Xbox community, I'm talking about the 5%ers, they think that Microsoft went over and just ripped this game out of Sony's hands. Sony never had this game in the first place. They never had it, okay? It wasn't theirs to keep. They had it for a little bit. They had a timed exclusive on it. Now they don't have it anymore, okay? Just as Microsoft did a timed exclusive on Rise of the Tomb Raider. Okay, that was a timed exclusive. So we'll go to one more game just to see what it says. Let's go to Persona 5. So I'm just, because I know that has a box. So Persona 5 box image. Let's just see what it says here. Well, yeah, I guess I meant this. Can't Persona 5 box image. Let's see if we can find more images. It may not be on Persona. Okay, Persona 5. All right. I'm going to pull up an image of Persona 5. Again, here's the PS4 logo. Here's the game. I don't know what this thing is right here. PlayStation Network. I guess that may mean you need to be online to play it, or it has some kind of internet connection. Look, only on PlayStation. This means, again, this is identifying first-party studios, or a game that, I'm going to say first-party, a game that was made first-party for them. So I don't know. I'm not for sure how this works. This is a JRPG. I think this is Atlas. I don't know Sony. But I think Sony either helped develop the game or they helped publish it. So I'm just putting that up there so that people can see the difference. So when you see something that's going to only be on the PlayStation, so let's pull up Spider-Man. Let's just do the exact same thing. I did stop screen sharing. That was my bad. Hopefully you all were still there. I'm just going to, I pulled up the image and we're going to look at the Spider-Man box, okay? All right. Well, game stopped temporarily. All right, but you can see here, here's the Spider-Man logo. Again, PS4, only on PlayStation, okay? So, and again, I just think there's a lot of people who don't, either they don't understand that or they don't care. And but that is my hype. I wanted to share with you all my hypothesis. I personally don't think, I think you had a bunch of people being very clever saying that Sony's being anti-consumer. They ran and hid behind which call it they ran and hid behind crossplay, and which I thought so. But I wanted to share that with, and I did. Let me check my Twitter to see if invite, and let's see here. But if so, I'm gonna, I will answer some questions with you guys, and then I'm gonna let's see here. So Metacritic's got a poll up. Will God of War crack PS4's all-time top 10? That's Metacritic. The reviews go up Thursday for God of War. Anybody that's interested. All right, yeah, I'm going to roll out. But guys, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming. This has been Craig Harris, the black man in the green chair. kicking the facts with you. Thanks for joining me, and join me on my game stream in another couple hours. If not, hop over to the Ash and Lucas channel because she's podcasting right now. Guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate everything you all done. Love you all. Hey, let's get to 700 subs so I can do that 25-hour game stream for you guys. Y'all can get a good laugh at that. All right, you all take it easy. This we're about 20 subs away. Go mention me. If each one of you all mention me to one of your friends, just to sub, we'll do that stream. Okay. All right. Well, take it easy, guys. Thanks for being here. Big shout out to J-Dub for popping in. And shout out to his son for hopefully he has a happy, safe birthday. Shout out to Sick Humor, Foxy Games UK, Dark Cloud, Domingo, the Black Columbo. Shout out to Matt's Gaming, Cycle Gamer. I saw you in the chat. Everybody that was here, 901, OBJ the Don. Appreciate you, brother. You all take it easy and just keep it gaming, guys. Take it easy. Greg Harris out. Peace.